Hey everybody, Joan Zodianz here, and welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Zundayz, which is my weekly horoscope. I haven't done these videos in a while, or my podcast, and there's good reason for it, which I'll explain. But thank you for tuning in with me today. And going forward, I'm going to be more consistent with my videos, and I have the energy for it now. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about all of the Aquarius placements. It is officially Aquarius season. It has been since the 20th. We're going to be talking about Mercury Retrograde. The Mercury Retrograde that's coming up, also in Aquarius. We're going to be talking about Venus in Capricorn. We're also going to be talking about these other planetary placements that are that will impact society and us as individuals. So bear with me. This video is going to be a little bit longer because I have a lot to catch up on, and I have a lot to talk about. So if you're into it, get into it. If not, then it's all good. It's all good with me. I'm in a peaceful and balanced place with myself mentally and emotionally now. So we're just going to go ahead and get into that part. Recently, my grandma, I'm going to try not to get emotional, but recently my grandma had passed away around my birthday in November. So it took me a long time to kind of recollect myself. And I needed a break from everything. I dived really deep into my book, finished up the manuscript, and it was a healing process for me, and it's been a healing journey ever since. And a lot of things happened because of the pandemic and not being able to go to the funeral, and a lot of emotional turmoil with these types of things that happen. I've never grieved before, so I wasn't aware of the process or the amount of time I needed. So I promised myself I wouldn't come back until I felt up to it, if that makes any sense. And I'm not going to sit here and cry about it or dwell on it or anything with you guys, because my Scorpio Mercury just won't allow that to happen. Just won't allow that to happen. But I took a much needed break. So thank you for being patient with me and understanding me. Especially if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I was going through it. And just being here and being supportive still. So thank you for that. All right. So let's get into the horoscope for the week. Mercury is in Aquarius now, and it will go into a retrograde phase on the 30th, which is this Saturday. It will last until February 21st. We have a lot of Aquarius placements where I feel like I've seen a lot of posts with people saying it's the age of Aquarius. But that's not quite true. We had heavy Aquarius placements last year. We know what happened last year. We don't talk about last year. It was a mess. It was a mess. And I'm not saying history is going to repeat itself this year. There's going to be a lot of positive changes for humanity. It's reinstilling faith in humanity. And it's going to be another journey to get to a peaceful place for society and with ourselves. So apart from Mercury and Aquarius, we have Jupiter and Saturn, the two biggest planets in our solar system, also in Aquarius. Okay, so we have 3 Aquarius placements for the rest of this month. Mars is currently in Taurus right now, and Uranus is in Taurus. It's stationed direct since the 14th, and it'll stay in Taurus for the entire year. It'll go in and out of retrograde phases. Now, when we talk about Mars and Uranus in Taurus, combined with the Aquarius elements here, or the Aquarius placements, we know that peaceful change will happen. But again, Taurus is a sign that doesn't like change. It doesn't like quick change. It's going to be very structured, very organized. And Aquarius and Taurus are both fixed signs, so they have things in common. However, they're still elementally incompatible because Aquarius is an air sign, Taurus is an earth sign, okay? So keep that in mind, that there will be pending friction between the two of them. Aquarius wanting to rebel against the norm and against tradition and wanting to make these changes quicker than a Taurus would. And that's why I don't believe that this is the age of Aquarius. Now, if Pluto was an Aquarius, then I would know, like, yeah, it's definitely the age of Aquarius. And it's not going to be in the age of Aquarius, or Pluto is not going to be in Aquarius until 2024, and that's some time from now. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this isn't the start of the age of Aquarius, because I do sort of believe that. But are we in it? No, I don't really think so. Not yet. It's going to take some time. We need that Uranus to change as well, because Uranus influences change in society. Remember, there are the internal planets and there are the external planets, right? The internal planets, they move faster, they're closer to us. After Mars, when we get into Jupiter, it's affecting us on a world scale, right? It's an international thing. It's how our energy moves in our direct environment, okay? And they are more codependent on the inner planets, the internal planets, okay? So keep that in mind when you're learning about horoscopes or you're learning about the planets. Now, there is a full moon on January 28th, and it will be in Leo. Leo also being a fixed sign, but it's a fire sign. And it's going to reignite us, right? It's going to reignite our passions, and it's going to highlight the energy that we need to focus on our bigger goals, our bigger dreams. It's a great night to journal. It's a great night, and I say that for every new moon and full moon, but if you're not journaling, and I don't know how you're living your life. How do you stay organized? And you need to release these things. But it's a powerful full moon because it's in Leo. So don't be afraid to dream big. Don't be afraid to go past your comfort zone. And that's what we're learning, especially because Mars is in Taurus and Uranus is in Taurus. We're pushing past our comfort zone. We're pushing past our confined spaces, even though most of us are still in lockdown. Okay, so we have to think of an escape mentally, and the Aquarius energy is allowing us to do that. So get ready for a surge of creativity, a surge of imagination, which is only heightened because of Neptune in Pisces. So a lot of these internal changes are happening in ourselves as well as in society. And I think we're going to see it all kind of play out very slowly throughout the rest of this year, which is a good thing. It's an awesome thing. We're preparing ourselves for something great and optimistic, something positive. But one thing I do want to let you know is that even though Aquarius is a humanitarian sign, it's a sign that thinks about other people more than they do themselves, they're still a very strict sign. The reason why I say that is because it's a fixed sign, okay? They have very strong boundaries. And Saturn is the co-ruler of Aquarius. So now that it's in Saturn, we're going to see people wanting to continue to isolate themselves, but not in a negative way. It's more of like, hey, these are my rules and you're going to follow them. And if you don't, I'm going to distance myself away from you. Or we're going to have this huge argument. It's a planet of lots of opinions, especially because it's backed up by Jupiter, which influences our philosophies in life. It's our faith, our luck. It's the greater fortune, right? So when it's concerning money or when it's concerning being organized or structured, we're going to see it from an Aquarius perspective, where it's going to be more considerate of everybody involved. So we might not get everything that we want as a society this year or as an individual this year, but we have to be compassionate towards the people that are not just including us, but just to everybody that it affects. Our decisions affect other people. Therefore, we have to prioritize what that means to us. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. It's the year for people. It's the year to expand yourself and getting yourself out there, and not in a superficial way. It's about promoting your work. It's about promoting your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, and spreading that good energy around. And I do believe that's why people are saying that this could be the start of the age of Aquarius, which I can believe. It's like the very, very, very beginning, maybe. Maybe. I need to do more research before I commit to that. And that's another thing too, is Aquarius is not really a committed sign to people. It's committed to ideas. It's committed to higher thinking, to knowledge. Remember, the motto is I know. So we're going to see a lot of people becoming less ignorant and doing their due diligence, and hopefully not being a part of the bigger issues that we are all involved in. I know that's a mouthful. Hopefully that makes sense. So how does this affect you as an individual? Let's go through that. When we have all these Aquarius placements, we ourselves are in a start of an evolution mentally. Okay, mentally and physically too, where we're building more structure within ourselves and our goals and what do we really want, right? How do we really want to empower ourselves mentally? How do we want to empower others mentally? This could also be a year for greater education, where we're going to see a lot of things in society, like how we educate each other, is all going to change this year. Aquarius is a very advanced zodiac sign, and it's very progressive and it's very productive. So we're going to see all these new things pop up. So get ready for that. Okay, it's also a rebellious sign. So if either of these planets go into a retrograde phase this year, and they will, we're going to see a dramatic change in how people operate, a dramatic change in how people will communicate. And the first retrograde, obviously, like I said earlier, is going to be a Mercury in retrograde, which is happening this Saturday, and it's going to last until February 21st. During this the first retrograde of the year, we, how to say this nicely, we look at the shadow side when we think of retrogrades. So we have to look at the shadow side of Aquarius, because they're not always positive, and they're not always willing to cooperate with others. During this retrograde phase, you may find delays of thinking. And when I say that, I'm trying to be as nice as possible, so I'm just going to be blunt with it. You're probably going to find a lot of people who are really opinionated and rebellious for no reason. It'll be a no reason kind of thing. They just feel like it. They feel like mentally breaking other people. And you could be doing that to yourself, or you could be doing that to other people. It's really however you're feeling, or whatever your mood is, or whatever your Mercury is, if it's compatible with Aquarius or not. And it's also a shift in perspectives as well. Are you going to see things from another person's perspective, or are you going to be stubborn and hold on to your beliefs? It's, get ready for lots of debates, especially in government, because again, Aquarius is in Jupiter and Saturn being a governing body for society. We're going to see a lot of back and forth, or a lot of indecisiveness, either with yourself or with other people. So be aware of that. In the meantime, Venus is in Capricorn. Venus influencing our love and relationships, how we define love. And it being in Capricorn means that we are seeking beneficial relationships. It's more about long-term commitments. And mixed with Aquarius, even though it's incompatible, we don't want to be involved with people that no longer give us the energy, the positive energy needed to be successful. Remember, it's all about progress and productivity. So we need people to, or be surrounded by people, or even being by ourselves, to be that type of person, to be a successful person. And that's how I've been feeling lately too. Like, I've been cutting off a lot of people in my inner circle, just so I can focus and refocus and just think about what's best for me. And you could be feeling the same way too. You're going to want to check yourself mentally. Whatever is best for your mental well-being, you need to start focusing on that. And you need to start vocalizing and expressing how you feel. And don't be afraid of saying what needs to be said, but in a healthy way, okay? Not in a way where you're shutting people out because you're afraid to confront things. What you need to do is sit everybody down that, you know, you need to confront and have a civilized conversation with them, because with Aquarius placements like this, anything can be worked out, because Aquarius has a higher understanding and acceptance of different personalities, of different perspectives. So anything can be negotiated, anything can be talked through during this time, except when Mercury goes into a retrograde. So get what you need to say right now before it goes into that. Because really, Mercury retrogrades are vicious. No matter what zodiac sign it's in, it's always a vicious cycle, because so many things need to change mentally. Other than that, my book is set to launch March 13, 2021. I'm very, very, very excited. It was a long process because I expanded on a lot of chapters. I made it very long. I wanted to go into more detail. And, you know, I've been working with my editor, which is a long process as well. It's a 2-month process to make sure that everything makes sense and there are no grammatical errors. And so we're in the second phase of that right now. Well, we're still in the first phase. Going into the second phase on February 2nd. As soon as that part is over, I'm going to be pushing my book out to order the sample, do quality check, and do a quality check on the print. And it's only going to be available on Amazon for now. And I'm really, 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 really excited. I hope that everybody likes it. I put in a lot of time. Again, it was my healing process. So I felt really involved for the past few months, as I should be. As I should be. But I was really feeling it. You know, when, you know, that saying is, when artists are going through a traumatic time, they make really great artwork, or they make really great work, or their artistry or whatever. Just, it's a heightened thing. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. And I hope that my grandma's really proud of me. I did her little, she's right there. I did her little portrait so I can have her around me forever. And I just hope she's watching over me in a good way. I got choked up. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. It's going to be an ongoing thing as it was before. I plan on doing more videos throughout the week, maybe twice a week. And I think that will be a part of my healing process as well, of trying to just be more confident in sharing and more, you know, confident in expressing myself. So, see you guys next week. Bye.